Alright, hi guys, and welcome back to another one of my YouTube videos. And in today's video, I will show you guys how I edit my YouTube thumbnails. Alright, so here is my YouTube channel, which, I mean, you guys can already see because if you're watching this video, you guys are on my YouTube. But you can see some examples of thumbnails that I have made. Let's just ignore the shorts in the middle because it kind of clutters things. But, you know, pretty proud of how these thumbnails have turned out. I kind of changed my style a little bit, but you can see there's still some elements of my thumbnail style that I did carry over to how I make thumbnails now. So yesterday I was editing a video of my first time Minecraft playthrough, and goddamn, editing that took so long because Minecraft makes me motion sick. So when I was editing Minecraft videos and scrubbing through Minecraft at 2x speed, it made me like mega motion sick. So I split the editing for that video over a couple of days, aka a day and then my LA trip and then some more days. So that's why editing that video took so long. But now that I'm done, I will show you guys how I make my thumbnails. So first I'm gonna go and, whoops, clicked the wrong thing. I'm gonna go and pull up my video in Davinci Resolve. Now, what you can do is you could go and pull up your video in whatever media share software you have on your computer. And when you pull it up, it'll look something like this. And generally, I just try to go and look for a thumbnail I can go grab. But the thing is, the problem that I have with, because I have a Windows computer, when I pull it up in my Windows, like media share, it shows this little like scrub bar and the title, and even if I full screen it, it only disappears if you don't mouse over it. It makes screenshotting it really difficult, basically. So I prefer to do it in Davinci Resolve itself, just so I get it's easier for me to go screenshot. I have full control over where I'm scrubbing the video. So I'm just gonna go and look for a screenshot for my face that I want to go and grab. Okay, so after scrubbing through the video for like 20 minutes, I grabbed this screenshot. And by the way, the program I'm using to screenshot is called Giazzo. It's just sitting in your start bar, if you can see right here, and then you click it and you can just screenshot. So I didn't show myself screenshotting it simply because it took me so long to find a clip or an image, but I really like the chaotic nature of this, so we're gonna leave it. And also, you see that my chat box is currently blocking my arm, which makes it look a little bit weird, but it's okay. We're gonna go fix that soon. I feel like I look really short. I don't know. My camera setting to like got a little bit messed up because I went to LA and I came back and I don't even know what happened anymore, but it's okay. We're gonna leave it, but I'll fix it for my next videos, I guess. But also, we need to go and grab other elements besides the photo of yourself. You need something in the background to take up the background of the entire thumbnail to add texture and stuff like that. So we're gonna go and grab a screenshot of the gameplay. And I already figured out that I wanted this screen, or let me go and spread it over a little bit so you can see the enderman. Let me go take another screenshot. So after I grab this background image and then now I have this image of myself, I'm gonna go and look up enderman PNG. And there's a lot of little PNGs of endermans, so let's see here. I'm gonna go and just try to find one that I like, and I'm gonna go and save it as a PNG. I think I'm just gonna take this one. Let's click it. We're just gonna go and save image as, oh, it's a JPEG, but don't worry, we'll fix this later. So let me go save this. So we have our enderman, we have the screenshot of us dying, and we have the image of us. And also, if you're a faceless streamer, you don't have to go and do the first part, which is grabbing a screenshot of yourself. You can just go and throw up your OC or your character or your drawing of yourself or whatever you use, or your VTuber model, etc. Just so that people know it's still you, even if you're a faceless streamer. Shoot, okay, so I spent like 20 minutes trying to get Photoshop open because my start bar is not working anymore for some reason. But anyways, we're gonna go to File, we're gonna create New, and then we're gonna make it 1280 by 720 pixels, and make sure it is 300 DPI for the resolution, just to make it higher quality. Now we're gonna hit Create. Alright, so given our blank canvas, we need to start throwing things on here. So first, we're gonna go to our background screenshot, and we're just gonna go right-click that and save it as an image. I just save it to my desktop, which is why my desktop gets hella cluttered, because it's just crap that I save off the internet. And we're gonna go and save that screenshot that we took of ourselves as well. So we're gonna do that. And then we already have the enderman. So we're gonna go back to Photoshop, And then we're gonna go find these images off our desktop. We already have a bunch of elements, so first off, we're gonna go and hide a couple. Now in Photoshop, let me go yeet myself over here so you can actually see. In Photoshop, if you can see in this little corner, when there's a little like piece of paper image in the bottom right hand corner of whatever your layer, that means that layer is not rasterized. So if you want to go edit it, you have to rasterize your layer. Now Control plus to go zoom in, and we're gonna go and select the polygon select tool. And if you don't have the polygon lasso tool, whatever is over here, the third select option, right click that, and then these are your lasso options. So sometimes it defaults you to the lasso tool, but I personally like the polygon lasso tool just because it's way easier to use. And now we're gonna spend the tedious task of cutting ourselves out. Now if we look over here, I have my chat box that is blocking my arm, but it is completely okay. We're just gonna, pretend that doesn't exist and just cut around it, and you will see why in a second. Alright, so now we have the wonky cutout of ourselves, so we're just gonna go click it, and we're just gonna go and drag it over into the corner so you can't see the fact that I have something blocking my arm. Now we're gonna go and show that background again. Okay, so I need to go and cover myself, so I'm just gonna kind of do that. And we're gonna take this image, and we want the you died portion to be very noticeable, because again, with YouTube thumbnails, right, if you don't know whether you're using too much detail or not, I just recommend zooming out, and this is roughly going to be the size of the YouTube thumbnail. Okay, maybe it's about this big, right? So you don't want to add too many tiny details, otherwise people won't be able to see it. So for instance, the you died text, no one's gonna be able to see that. So we're just gonna go and make it larger. Hold shift if you want it to scale with the same aspect ratio. All right, bam, and then if we zoom out like this, you can clearly see that it is now a death screen in Minecraft. And now we're gonna go and use our little enderman just to add a little bit more detail to our thumbnail. So again, you can see that it shows that this layer is not rasterized. So we're gonna right click it and select rasterize layer so we can edit the layer. Now we want to click this magic wand here, which is the magic select tool. And the reason we can use the magic select tool for the enderman image and not the image of ourselves is the fact that the enderman image is on a white background, and there's a large amount of contrast. So the enderman is almost black and the background is white. That is a very large amount of contrast. So the magic wand tool can easily recognize that and will easily select the enderman. Again, with the little screenshot of me going like this, I kind of blend into the background in some portions, so the magic wand will not be accurate. Okay, so now we're just gonna go and hit delete, and we have our little enderman. Now notice it's still not 100% accurate, which is completely okay. We're just gonna go back to use our polygon select tool here, and we're just gonna go and cut around the feet to go cut the little shadows out, because again, the magic wand select tool is not 100% accurate. Sometimes you have to go back and clean up what was selected to make sure that, it's what you want. So now we have our little enderman here, and I want to make this enderman bigger, so we're going to go edit, transform, scale. We're going to make it a little bit larger, because again, with YouTube thumbnails, you want these elements to be visible, and it's not going to be visible if it's too small. Also, this thumbnail looks a little bit boring right now because there's no texture and everything is very vertical. There's no angles to it. So I'm just gonna go take this enderman. We're gonna go edit, transform, and we're gonna go and flip it horizontally because I want this enderman to be facing inwards, to be facing me. So it kind of also looks like the enderman is coming towards me. So I'm gonna go and edit, transform, rotate, and we're gonna go. See, kind of want to rotate this enderman inwards, and we're gonna put him like that. It'll just add a little bit more movement, a little bit more dynamics to our thumbnail. Now if you look at the thumbnail, it's looking better. We're getting things together, but something still looks a little bit off, and that is because there's still no depth to the thumbnail. So in order to add depth, you can do a bunch of things, and I like to go and add shadows. So first, we're gonna add a shadow behind me. So I'm gonna go and click the layer of myself, and I'm gonna select anywhere that is not me, right? So now we can use the magic wand select tool because we don't have a background. It's a PNG now. Select every area that is around your body. So I'm gonna select up here, and then this little corner right here. So now we've selected the empty area. This is way easier than manually selecting your image. And we're gonna go and select, and inverse the selection. And look, now we selected our person. It is way easier than like slowly clicking through the entire body to select the little elements. So we're gonna go to the layer below and we're gonna make a new layer. Control-Shift-N is the command for a Windows computer to go and make a new layer for Photoshop. And we're gonna hit OK. And the reason we want it to be a layer below is we want our shadow to be below our person. Otherwise, what's gonna happen is the shadow is gonna be on top of you, and that's gonna look really weird. So we're gonna go hit Select, Modify, Expand, and we're gonna expand it by, you know, I think 10 pixels is fine. And let's go and use the color drop tool and select the darkest thing on the screen. That's the background, which is this, right? So we're gonna, this portal right here, we're gonna select that. And we're just gonna go use our fill tool and fill it behind me. Yeet. So now we see we have a little outline, but this one looks kind of weird, so don't worry, we're gonna fix it, right? So now we're gonna go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur, and just turn that blur up. And now we added a shadow behind ourselves. And to make this shadow even better, under where it says normal, you're gonna apply a filter to this layer, and we're gonna apply a multiply filter, and we're just gonna turn that down a little bit because it's looking a little harsh right here. And suddenly now we pop out in front of what's behind us, our background. What the multiplier layer does, it basically just kind of darkens everything behind your image. So it'll make it look better than if you just had it on a normal layer for the shadow. So this off the bat already looks way better, but we can go and add some more color to it. So I'm gonna go and create a new layer above our background. And I like the pink color of the Enderman's eyes. We want to make sure that we're working with a very limited color palette. You don't want to select every single color of the rainbow. It's going to make your thumbnail look very chaotic and people aren't going to know where to look. So we're going to click the Enderman's eyes because I like that color and it's within the color palette. Now we're going to click the paint. We're going to right click the paint bucket tool and that will take us to the gradient option. And now I will add a diagonal gradient from the bottom right-hand corner to the upper left-hand corner. So we're just gonna click like that. I'll draw a little bit angled like this. Okay, this is a little bit too much. Hold on, let me make it a little bit smaller. Oh, nope, that's too small now. Sometimes you gotta play around with it a little bit. Ooh, okay, I like this. This adds a little bit more color, a little bit more depth to our image. And we're just gonna lower the opacity a little bit. So look, now we kind of pop out against the background even more. I personally just like working with a lot of, a lot of gradients in my thumbnails. So again, I'm gonna add another gradient to the image and I think I'm just gonna go select blue. All right, yeah, I tried blue, didn't really like the way it looked. It looked too happy for, you know, first timing dying in Minecraft. So I'm gonna select red because it's similar to the red death screen color. Gonna draw a little diagonal gradient, the opposite of where we drew our pink gradient. And again, I'm just gonna go lower the opacity of that just a little bit. So look here. Now we have a more dynamically colored background. And now we're gonna go click the layer of our Enderman. I'm gonna use the magic wand select tool and the exact same thing as I did with myself. I'm just gonna go and click everywhere, all the void spaces around the Enderman. We're gonna hit select and we're gonna inverse that to select the Enderman. Now I'm gonna make a layer below the Enderman and now I'm gonna hit select, modify, expand, and we're gonna expand the Enderman by maybe 6 pixels, make it a little bit less than what I expanded myself by. And I'm gonna select white, pure white. We're gonna go to the gradient tool, right click that and hit paint bucket and fill that. So now we can see the Enderman stands out quite a bit against the background. And you know what I think would actually make this look really good? I like adding text to my thumbnails. So I think adding the "you died" text very large, just right across here, will completely bring this together. Because currently, just by looking at this thumbnail, it's looking a little empty in the middle. You can see that it is the death screen, but you can see that there's an element to the right, which is me, an element to the left, which is the Enderman, but the middle looks kind of empty. And we want our thumbnail to look very cohesive. We don't want there to be too many empty spaces. So I'm gonna go and look up Minecraft fonts. So we're just gonna go and download that, double click it, to try to get it to open. Please open. So we're just gonna go and add it as text, and then I'm gonna go and change the text to say "you died" the way they have it here, and we're just gonna make it white just to match the regular Minecraft text color. And we're gonna make it way bigger so you can see. I think like 48 point, wait, there we go. So now that we have our text, we're gonna go to layer, layer style, and we're gonna add a stroke, which will add an outline around your text. And now once we have our stroke, I'm just gonna make it black so it's easier to see, and we're gonna make it a weight of 10. Hit OK, and then under edit, transform, we're gonna rotate this, and I'm gonna rotate the text to have it sit kind of like this. I'm gonna make the text a little bit bigger, 42. Like this. But if you notice, the text is still a little bit difficult to read because it is kind of like blending in behind the enderman. So if you kind of zoom out, it looks a little bit rough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and use the magic wand select tool, and again select in any void space that there is. And one thing to note, also, we're gonna hit select inverse, is when you select text that you added a stroke to, it will not select the text and the stroke. It will select only the text. So we're just gonna go and make a layer below that, make a new layer, and then we're gonna go and select modify. We're gonna expand, and I'm gonna expand this one by maybe, let's try 15. Let's see how that is. Okay, that looks a little large, but it's okay. It's looking good. We're gonna go color select the enderman's eye. I'm gonna select the middle pixel color, and we're gonna go and fill that and see how that looks. All right, this looks good. I just need to make the text larger, or like the outline larger. So we're just missing one thing now, which is just texture. And adding texture will just help blend the thumbnail together completely, because currently it still looks a little bit flat because everything is very smooth. So I'm just gonna go and make a layer above the background layer, which is the You Died screen. And we're gonna click the brush. Let me right click. I swapped it to pencil when I was doing pixel art. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, so this is basically a texture that I was using. It's just a graph. Basically, you can go look up, if you want to go find more textures, look up free Photoshop texture brushes. And you can find a whole bunch of free brushes that are all textures and stuff like that. And you can go and download them. And I personally just really like adding textures to my thumbnails because it gives it more depth, a little bit more dynamics. And sometimes you gotta go work through a little bit. You'll try adding some textures and realize maybe you don't like the way it looks, so you can go add some more. But again, highly recommend adding textures to your video or your thumbnails. It'll just completely bring it together. So I'm gonna go try to see whether I like the fog brush or not. We're gonna open that. My start bar has not been working, so hopefully the stuff will work. Okay, so my little smoke brushes didn't download, unfortunately, but I'm gonna use this graph paper brush from this set that I got online, and we're gonna go and just kind of click it right here, and you'll see that it does, you know, cover the entire thumbnail, but it's okay. We're gonna go and click brush, and we're gonna go select the soft round brush. We're just gonna make it way larger. And we're gonna lower the opacity to maybe about 30 something. And we're just gonna go and erase it from everywhere we kind of don't want this little texture thumbnail, the texture to be on. So I'm just gonna kind of erase it from here. And what I kind of want is just for the graph paper stuff to, in a way, just frame the thumbnail. So I kind of leave it around me, kind of leave it around the enderman. And, you know, now that I've erased what I want to erase, we're just gonna go and under layer, I'm just gonna go and click screen, and we're just gonna go and lower the opacity a little bit so that it's still noticeable, so that you can see the texture, but it's not going to take away from my thumbnail by any means. And now if we zoom out, we have a very, very spiffy thumbnail for our YouTube video on the first Minecraft playthrough. Alright, and here you go. I hope you guys liked this YouTube video, and if you have other video recommendations or stuff like that, please let me know in the comments. Hopefully you guys found this helpful, and if you guys did, I would appreciate it if you guys follow my YouTube, or wait, no, subscribe, my bad, and follow my Twitch and check me out on Twitch because I do stream 4 days a week, and I just graduated actually, so I might be streaming more. We'll see. I might need to get an adult job, which is pretty scary, but I hope to catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, guys.